All right, Coach, welcome back.
Thank you. Happy to be home.
Welcome, yes. First and foremost, just overall what you thought before we dive into the individual men's and women's teams. What do you think of the event as a whole?
It was a really great event for us. I do think it is kind of an emotional roller coaster, right? Like you have great events and then people don't swim quite where they want to. It's just a really hard meet to go to too, because a lot of people have to like swim and perform their best to even make it in, and then you're there, and then to try to like get up and ready to go again and try to be even better. It's a lot, so but we did really well. I was so proud of them, and sometimes to really rally, especially on the last day, to have some incredible races at the end of the whole week we were there. I was really proud of them. It was a really good group.
So then let's piggyback off that. Let's
Yeah.
talk about the men's team first.
Yeah.
Just double checking my fact. 15th place.
Yes.
Obviously plenty of All-American school records.
Yes.
Some PRs broken. Talk to me about the men and what you saw from them over the weekend.
Yeah, no, it was really great. And like I said before, like there's a couple races that I'm sure they would like to have back, and a couple heartbreaks. The top 8 are first team All-Americans, and the men's 200 free relay was 9th, and that was even more stressful because there was several kind of timing issues at this meet. And I don't know what was happening with their timing system. So when the final times went up, we actually were doing the math, and we're like, oh my gosh, we got 8th. And then one of the pads wasn't right, so McKendry actually went ahead of us, and then we were 9th. So then you're like, the best man, which is not in the wedding party, not in there. So they were all kind of bummed about that. But for them to rally and then get 6th on the 400 free relay with the same group of guys, I was really proud of that, because I think a couple of them would have liked to swim a little better that morning and to just try to rally and get back, and then they just had an amazing race, and especially on a relay. You can have people on, and all year I feel like we've had 2 that were on and 2 that were a little bit off, or 3 that were on and 1 off, but all of them were on at the same time, and you don't get those opportunities very often, and it was really, really great. So
speaking of, saw the last name Knowles all
Yeah.
all over different results, whether that's
Yes.
individually or relays. Just talk about the importance of him and what you were
Yeah.
speaking about earlier, how difficult it is day in and day out get ready for events. Seems like every day he was almost in something. So.
Yeah, no, and he was in something every day. So he actually qualified for some other individual events. His best races are the 50 and the 100 free, but we didn't. He only can swim 7 events, and relays points are like double the points, so they can be a lot of points. So we used him in all 5 of our relays, which is huge. And so he had a relay every day, all 5 days of the meet. And his 50 free and 100 free were also good. He's knocking on the door, getting in the top 8 in those 2. So I think he can be there next year for sure. But he's also had a full slate. He went to the World Championships between GLIAC and NCAA, so he's got some travel, and but for him to get up and race as well as he did, we're pretty happy with it, for sure.
One more on the men's side. Talk to me about Daniel.
Yes.
First team of 400 IM, school record as well.
Yes. First man we've had that's gone under 350, and he was right under 349.99, and that record that he broke was 8 years, 8-year record. So pretty excited about that. His race was just such a beautiful swim. One of those, athletes talk about being in the zone, and you could tell like he was in that moment. Like every 50 was just strong, and really, really amazing race. So it was pretty fun.
Jumping over women's,
Yeah.
19th. Tell me overall first
Yep.
what you thought about that.
Yeah, I do. We had some divers go. One of our divers, they take like the top 22 divers, and I think she was 25th. So it's just right there. So that was kind of a bummer. I think getting her in would have gotten us up a couple places. But we also, tied for 6th in our 200 medley relay. That was really fun. And Cammie getting her first first team All-American in the 100 back. That was really great too. There was some in the times in those relays were really good. Becca Burrows being in a couple of those relays 23-0 coming on the end. So there was some good stuff there for sure. And the cool part is most of them all will be back next year.
Yeah.
Like Chell she had an amazing finish to like the last competition of her career. She's a 5th year. She did her last 200 fly, which is such a hard event. And she won her best time, broke her own school record in her last swim ever. So it was kind of one of those picture perfect. There's not many people that get that picture perfect ending to your swimming career that you've done for, I don't know, 15 years probably for her. And that was a really, really great moment.
And
So.
she was all over too. Individual
Yes.
200 fly. She was involved in all the relays.
Yep.
Talk to me a little bit about how special she's been
Oh,
for you
yeah.
in her career.
Yeah, and she's been a captain. She's been such a good leader, and really just there for everyone. And we're gonna miss her a lot. She almost started crying, and then I almost started crying. I was like, I just gotta look away. And but it was, very, very meaningful. We're gonna definitely miss her. So.